Last November, we were told that Americans need to break through the politics of fear, right? We didn't want to be ruled by the fear of global terrorism, fear of a third world war, or fear of a foreign army marching against us. We were told America was sick and tired of the eavesdropping of the jackbooted thugs and the Patriot Act. Big Brother, the Bush administration, he's listening to Grandma and her recipes, right? Checking all the libraries. The Bush administration did nothing to free us from the energy grip of foreign dictators or the lobbying efforts of big businesses. Through Dick Cheney's so-called emergency laws, the fascist state's grip started to tighten. But that is not what America said it wanted. So we did the quintessentially American thing. We voted the other way. We said, enough. Now on with the other guy. We're going to go to the other guy and put him in power. And now that that's happened, people are realizing, wait a minute, grass isn't any greener on the other side. In fact, it's exact same color. Americans on both sides now are saying, hang on, haven't I seen this movie before? Enough! So now here we sit. We have the Tea Parties. We have the 9/12 Project. Today, have you seen TV? The G20 riots, they're all on TV. People throwing stuff through glass windows. It all proves that no matter what side of the aisle, the radicals with an agenda on the streets, or the mom or the dad who's a plumber going to the streets for the Tea Parties, people once again are feeling oppressed by an out-of-control state. We watch, day after day, as the problems that can and should be solved locally instead seem to be made worse, with 1,000-page bills and trillions of dollars spent. Public-private partnerships are created, or now new global treaties. So now the world has a different fear. Now we're afraid of the government growing larger. We're now afraid of the exact same things that I was called crazy for even just suggesting 2 years ago. Things like, oh, they're going to nationalize our banks. They're going to put the government in charge of private payrolls. They're going to move to nationalize our auto industry. And here's the one key word, using the word crisis to obtain the unprecedented power needed to make it all happen. It doesn't matter which administration we have in office. It all adds up to me now having to admit that I was wrong. Our government is not marching down the road towards communism or socialism. I was convinced for a long time we were headed towards socialism, that they were marching us to a brand of socialism we haven't seen for a while, maybe except in France. But now I have to tell you that they're not marching us that direction. They're marching us to a brand of nonviolent fascism. Or to put it another way, they're marching us towards 1984. Big Brother, he's watching. They're controlling. They're telling you how to run your business, who to hire, who to fire, how much to pay them. They're controlling your life and suggesting now in the G20 and the UN even how to parent your own children. As thousands of protesters riot in the streets of London for anarchy, those inside are taking part in an even more dramatic demonstration that you're not seeing on television. They are going after the power that comes with creating a globally run financial system. So, what does it all mean? I think there are two things. One, like it or not, fascism is on the rise. And that doesn't mean the Adolf Hitler kind of fascism. It's fascism with a happy face. I'll explain the exact definition of fascism in a second, and it will boggle your mind. And the second thing it means is it's all an illusion. The minute you turn the lights on or peek behind the curtain, you see there ain't anything to Big Brother. It's all a game. It's all a stage. Big Brother ain't so big. The politics of fear used by the right and now by the left, just different fear, aren't really so scary when you turn the lights on and you face it. Because thanks to our founding fathers, they have no choice but to answer to us if we turn the lights on, if we hold them to our founding principles. But to do that, We have to empower ourselves. We have to read, we have to study, we have to learn it ourselves, and then we have to stand up, not with a gun, but with our voices, our minds, our hearts, together, left and right. The people who said fascism is coming under Bush, and the people who are saying fascism is coming under Obama. You're both right. Fascism is coming, unless we remind them that it is we, the people, who run this show. We need to raise our expectations from those in Washington. We need to demand more from our government in Washington. And until we do that, we will continue to get exactly what we deserve. Sorry, looks like I was wrong. Sheldon Richman from the Freeman Foundation for Economic Education. How are you, sir?
Doing fine.
Okay. First of all, am I wrong on this one, Sheldon? That what I'm seeing here is fascistic.
You're not wrong. The only thing I would do is broaden your perspective a little bit. We've been on this road a very, very long time.
Oh, I think we've been on this road since Teddy Roosevelt. And I mean, look, I want to show you something. Explain what this is. Can you have feedback? This is all the sticks bound together in the axes. It's the Roman symbol of fascism.
This is what the fascists in Italy used as their symbol, which was this Roman depiction of a bundle of rods bound together with an axe coming out the top, which I assume is a symbol of a collective unity and force.
Right.
Power.
Okay. Could you zoom in on this? Harry, bring in for a little bit. Zoom in right here. This is the Mercury dime. On the back of the Mercury dime, and Harry saw this earlier today. He runs the jib camera that's zooming in right now. They look familiar? This is the symbol of fascism. Who brought this dime in? It happened in 1916. Woodrow Wilson was the president. I didn't even put this together. We've been on the road of fascism for a while, so let's do something here, because I looked up the definition of fascism yesterday, and I want to break it down. The first part is where socialism sought totalitarian control of a society's economic process through direct state operation of the means of production. Fascism sought the control indirectly through the domination of nominally private owners. Wouldn't you say that this is what's happening with GM right now and AIG? And
something similar is happening with those companies. Again, to keep it in context, and this is in no way a defense of it, I am against all of that. First of all, it began back in September. As you pointed out, the Republicans and the left and right have done similar things.
Hang on, Sheldon, I don't know what you're trying to paint here. I am not saying that Barack Obama is a fascist. I'm not saying the Democrats are a fascist. I'm saying the government under Bush and under Obama and under all of the presidents that we've seen, or at least most of the presidents that we've seen for quite some time, are slowly but surely moving us away from our republic and into a system of fascism. Yes or no?
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying we've been on that road a very long time. We've been on that road for ages, from even into the 19th century. Sometimes we take 2 steps forward and then 1 back. Sometimes we take 1 step forward, 2 steps back. We've been on that road, and I agree with what you're saying. The GM and the AIG situations are more like fascism than socialism. But I would add this one caveat, and I don't approve of the policies, but I would just add this one caveat. These companies came to the government for help. They never should have gotten it. But
if I'm not mistaken, in the early days of Adolf Hitler, they were very happy to line up for help there as well. I mean, the companies were like, hey, wait a minute, we can get out of trouble here, they can help, et cetera, et cetera. You line up sometimes. You never want to give your rights away or your freedoms away for security. Our founders talked about this. We're giving our freedoms away. GM, AIG, any of these banks, Citigroup, they're all giving their freedom away for security.
No, you're right. We don't have an argument here. I was just keeping the context clear.
Okay. The second thing is, where socialism nationalized property explicitly, fascism did so implicitly by requiring owners to use their property, I love this, in the national interest, that is, as an autocratic authority conceived it. Where socialism abolished all market relations outright, fascism left the appearance of market relations while planning all economic activities. So what does that mean exactly? That's the public-private kind of relationship, is it not?
Well, what I was trying to do there, and you're reading from my entry in the Concise Encyclopedia of Economics on fascism, I was trying to contrast it with socialism. Under socialism, there was no facade of free markets or capitalism, whatever you want to call it. Everything was just nationalized, and the economy was just a government operation. Under fascism, under Mussolini in Italy, and then under Hitler in the 30s with the Nazis, they left intact what looked like private businesses.
I'm not a crook.